Breaking on 4 News Now, new details on when the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students will stand trial, why the state wants it to be over the summer.
I'm tracking rain on its way for Friday. I'll let you know how it will impact your holiday travel plans and tell you about this fog in the first alert forecast.
And following the deaths of 2 Spokane women, a local domestic violence survivor is urging other survivors to find help. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. And we begin with breaking news out of Latah County. We now have a better idea when the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students will stand trial. Thanks for joining us. I'm Derek Dice. The state filed a motion to have Brian Kohberger's trial be held during summer vacation. The state citing parking and safety concerns for students at Moscow High School since it's right next door to the courthouse. This comes as the prosecutors went back inside the home where Kaylee Consalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin were killed for the last time. Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson and Idaho Deputy Attorney General Ingrid Beatty, along with others, spent about an hour inside that house today. They also walked around the outside and went onto the back porch and the upper parking area. They were seen having a discussion about something and pointing in an area of the back of the house. It's slated to be torn down next week. Also breaking tonight, we now know Carol Street, the woman found dead in the field in northeast Spokane earlier this month, died of a heart attack. That's according to the Spokane Medical Examiner. According to court documents, when detectives found her body, she had serious injuries to both arms from an animal attack. The medical examiner tells 4 News Now those injuries were caused after she died. And another breaking news story, Washington State and Oregon State universities have reached an agreement with the departing Pac-12 schools to end their legal battle over control of the conference. Sports Director Julian Minnesone joins us in studio now. And Julian, what does this mean for the future of WSU athletics?
Well, Derek, this is quite the consolation prize for Washington State and Oregon State after being abandoned by the other 10 members of the Pac-12. The departing schools have agreed to forfeit a portion of revenue distributions for the remainder of the 2023-24 school year. They've also agreed to provide specific guarantees against potential upcoming liabilities that the conference could encounter. Washington State and Oregon State are also guaranteed the rights to all the conference's assets and future revenues. This gives WSU and OSU the financial flexibility to rebuild the Pac-12. Washington State and Oregon State have a 2-year grace period to operate as a 2-team conference. WSU and OSU leadership released a joint statement saying that this agreement ensures that the future of the Pac-12 will be decided by the schools that are staying, not those that are leaving. Washington State basketball is getting ready to play Boise State at Spokane Arena. We're going to have a live report, including an interview with Cougars head coach Kyle Smith, and all this Pac-12 craziness coming up later in the show. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
All right, Julian, thank you. The holiday travel season is back, and so are the headaches. The Spokane International Airport is expecting a record-breaking amount of passengers between now and January 2nd. 4 News Now's Allison Martinez is live at the airport now to share what to know before you go. Allison.
The Spokane Airport has warned us this holiday travel season is set to be extremely busy. We've been seeing it all play out tonight with lots of people arriving here in Spokane, but still the worst is still yet to come. Christmas decor, longer lines, and extra staff make it clear the holiday travel season is back in full swing.
It is a little bit more busy. Everybody's in a rush trying to get home, fly home, come home. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a traffic jam.
Airports around the world are expecting some of their highest numbers to date, and Spokane is no exception.
Yesterday was actually the busiest I've ever seen it, around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So it's definitely busier this year than previous times I've flown in.
Some days are far worse than others, like tomorrow. More than 15,000 passengers are expected. The busiest time will be between 11 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. And of course, a delay is never out of the question.
So that kind of puts a damper on things. It's been trying to get put back on flights, almost missed a flight, so that's always a struggle.
There are a few things you can do to save yourself the hassle. The airport's most important tip, get there at least 2 hours before boarding. If you're traveling with presents this year, hold off on wrapping them until you get to your destination. Wrapped gifts will require extra inspection and could mean security has to take your hard work apart. And most importantly, be kind to the staff who give up their celebrations so you can make it to yours.
Happy holidays and enjoy your travel. And I'll see you when you come.
Long lines at TSA, packed planes, weather delays, it's all part of traveling during the holiday season. For more information on how you can be best prepared, you can visit our website, KXLY.com. Reporting live in Spokane, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Allison, thank you. If you're driving to the west side of the state this weekend, this graph here shows the worst times to drive over Snoqualmie Pass on Saturday. The Washington Department of Transportation says the worst time to drive over Snoqualmie is between 1 and 4 o'clock. Now, it's a similar trend on the way back over the mountains with the busiest times in the late morning and the early afternoon. All right, let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker now to see if there's any weather on the way that could detail or derail your travel plans. The fog is what we're worried about right now.
That is right. In fact, the National Weather Service just at the top of the hour issued this dense fog advisory for the area, elevated in gray until 10 a.m. tomorrow. That includes I-90 from east of Coeur d'Alene all the way through Spokane, just in the Ritzville area, stopping just short of Moses Lake, but there's some fog there as well. Let's take a look at the view from 500 West Boone Avenue over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. We've got the fog here on the north side of the river. Here's the view in Coeur d'Alene. This is I-90 and Northwest Boulevard, and it's been like this for about an hour now. Some dense fog in Coeur d'Alene. Here's a look at the area of the most dense fog. It is right around Coeur d'Alene, up through Sandpoint and Bonners Ferry, over through the Northeast Mountains and around to the Spokane area, with visibility down less than a quarter mile in many locations. In the last half hour, the Phelps Field reading, that's that 2-mile visibility at the Spokane Valley location, was in pretty good shape, but it's starting to go downhill. So we are socked in throughout the entire region. We'll start the day off tomorrow with some fog, and then it's going to turn over to rain. Expect rain developing by mid-morning, and that's going to continue. A high temperature tomorrow of 39. 33 is our average high, and that may start to turn over to a rain-snow mix tomorrow evening. I'll take a close look at that and have your Christmas forecast in just a few minutes. Derek.
Chris, thank you. Spokane Mayor-elect Lisa Brown announced that she plans on appointing Justin Lundgren as the interim chief of police when she takes office. Lundgren currently serves as the assistant police chief and has been with the department since 1997. He'll replace Chief Craig Meidel, who will be stepping down at the end of the month. Brown will also announce that she will appoint Maggie Yates as the assistant city administrator. Yates is currently the Community Reinvestment Program administrator at the Washington Office of Civil Legal Aid.
I did experience, some broken bones, things thrown at me, intimidation. It was very terrifying.
A local domestic violence survivor says there are resources to help people and families escape bad situations. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 1 in 4 women are victims of DV. 1 in 7 men also experience it. In the last 2 weeks, 2 women have been found murdered in the Spokane area. When we talked with the families of Janelle Martinson and Kiara Morgan Whelan, they shared concerns over their loved ones trapped in a cycle of abuse and drugs. Peter Choi has the story.
Yeah, after talking with the families, we want you to know what kind of resources are available to help women and families escape a life of abuse. Taffy Hunter is a survivor, and she says victims have to speak up for themselves and ask for help.
It was very terrifying.
Years of traumatic experience that are still difficult to forget.
Some broken bones, things thrown at me, intimidation.
It has been more than 10 years since Taffy Hunter got out of the abusive relationship with her ex-husband. Hunter is now guiding resources for other domestic violence victims because she knows what exactly they're going through right now.
I remember when I got out, I worked with the YWCA in Walla Walla, and get choked up. My therapist at the time said that every abusive person's story is the same. It's like they all went to the same abuse school. They all learned the same techniques to some degree. But every survivor's story is different.
She says many victims are dealing with drug addiction. It's often used in a relationship against victims and survivors.
I feel just so muddled and foggy, and it's so hard to make sense of, and it's chaotic what's happening. You know, the person you love is hurting you, and it doesn't make sense, right? And so reaching out to a professional in that way can really help gain that clarity.
If you live in Spokane, contact YWCA and Lutheran Community Service. For North Idaho, Safe Passage has 24/7 hotline for you. Making phone calls for help can make victims feel unsafe at home. Hunter says there's an alternative option.
Phone calls can also be unsafe if you are being monitored through technology. And so all of those places I mentioned, I believe all of them have text lines that someone can text that feels a little bit less intimidating, a little bit less scary.
She says breaking the isolation is the first step victims should do.
If a survivor can break the isolation and find support, then they can get to safety and health faster. And that's what we encourage.
If English is not your first language, a bilingual service is also available for victims. Find more information on our website, kxly.com. In studio tonight, Peter Choi for News Now.
All right, Peter, thank you. Two men accused in the murder of a man in East Central Spokane nearly a year ago are in jail tonight. According to court documents, Elijah Harvey and Takeo Bay worked in tandem to allegedly kill Carlos Thomas. According to the documents, the two men found Thomas sleeping in his car in the early morning hours of December 31st, 2022. This was outside the Parkview Apartments in East Spokane. Harvey appeared in court this afternoon to face the charge of first-degree murder. Investigators believe Harvey fired 2 shots, hitting Thomas in the side and chest. They say Bay, who will appear in court tomorrow, helped coordinate the attack. Harvey's mom helped detectives with the investigation. Harvey has multiple convictions and is being held on $1 million bond. All right, we are less than 2 hours away from tip-off between the Cougs and Boise State Broncos at the Spokane Arena. We're live with what the future of WSU basketball will look like, as they will soon be set to join a new conference. And the winter solstice is about an hour away, but it won't feel like it. Meteorologist Matt Gray will explain when we can expect some real winter weather again.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
The Plant Farm poinsettias are here. Bring on the holidays and shape your Christmas world with the Plant Farm. Bring home the vibrant Bravo Red or break tradition and surprise your family with their many specialty colors like pink, orange, and even multicolored. Bring home a Plant Farm poinsettia today, because life is better in the garden and your home.
Frozen is Disney's latest hit Broadway musical. From the producer of The Lion King comes the show audiences and critics are melting for. Coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts, July 24th to August 4th. Get tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking the gang to the slopes in an available all-wheel drive Pilot, delivering presents in a rugged Passport, or hauling a few toys for yourself in a powerful Ridgeline. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Oh, oh, oh. Ring in the season with some holly jolly jackpots at the Kootenai Casino in Bonner's Ferry. Santa's got you on his list for Winter Wonder spins and a New Year's Eve countdown to cash. Cozy up in a Kootenai Falls Lodge room starting at just $79 midweek, or upgrade to a Riverview room for $99. Come celebrate all December at the Kootenai Casino. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical guarantees to keep your home safe and warm. Your comfort is Andy's priority. From installation to repair and even preventative maintenance. Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, your trusted Carrier experts since 1972. Do more together.
Whatever your plans are this season, do more in a new Chevy. Use your Red Tag bonus cash to get $87.50 total cash allowance on this Silverado. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Around the world tonight, at least 15 people were killed and 24 more injured in a shooting at a university in Prague. The gunman is also dead. Now, police are searching for a possible motive. The country's police chief said preliminary information indicates the shooter was a 24-year-old student at Charles University in the Czech Republic. Police also saying they believe the suspect took his own life. Authorities have not formally identified the shooter due to the severity of his injuries. When the shooting began, though, dozens of students ran for cover, with some even hiding on the ledge of a building.
There was a couple of bangs. I didn't even realize it's a shooting. Then suddenly there were students and teachers running.
As of now, investigators say there's no indication this was an act of terrorism. Well, 6 of the 10 Americans who were being held prisoner in Venezuela are now back in the U.S., the White House helping negotiate their release. ABC's Liz Landers explains why they were arrested in the first place.
Free at last, free at last. Those were the words of one of the 10 Americans freed overnight after being jailed in Venezuela. 6 of the 10 Americans landing in San Antonio considered wrongfully detained and held for more than a year, like Avon Hernandez, a Los Angeles public defender detained and accused of being a spy.
All you think about when you're in prison is how you didn't appreciate being free.
Hernandez thanking President Biden, who recognized the moment during comments to reporters in Milwaukee.
And we've secured the release of every American being held in Venezuela on their way home. And we have no higher priority than the release of detained and/or hostage Americans being held hostage.
The deal brokered between the U.S. and Venezuela also returned to the U.S. notorious fugitive Leonard Glenn Francis, better known as Fat Leonard, who was the mastermind behind a $35 million military bribery scheme to which he pleaded guilty in 2015 to using prostitutes, luxury travel, and bribing Navy officers. In exchange, the U.S. granting clemency to one person, Alex Saab, an ally of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, who had been arrested in 2020 accused of money laundering. In a statement, Maduro describing the prisoner swap as a step on a path towards respect, equal treatment, and understanding between the U.S. and Venezuela, while Biden called it progress. But the U.S. is still urging Venezuela to hold free and fair elections. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
Well, the Washington State Cougars are set to play their annual game over the Spokane Arena in just a few hours against the Boise State Broncos. But it's the news over the last few days that's sending shockwaves across the college sports landscape, with Washington State and Oregon State set to join the West Coast Conference on a temporary basis. Our Alex Crescenti is live in the Spokane Arena and explains what the future will look like for the Cougs. Alex.
Yeah, that's right, Derek. Just a few hours ago, that information becoming official. We're used to seeing the Cougs play inside the Spokane Arena on about a yearly basis, this time every year in December. But this time next year, they're going to be playing games in Spokane, only they'll be conference games just down the street at the McCarthy Athletic Center in the WCC. That's because earlier this afternoon, the WCC presidents and athletic directors voted unanimously to add WSU and OSU as to the conference as affiliate members in all sports except football and baseball. So that would mean that Gonzaga and Washington State are going to be renewing their rivalry and playing in 2025. Those two programs have not played since 2015. A big reason for that has to be Gonzaga and their decision to schedule tougher non-conference opponents, but now those two schools will not be able to ignore each other. But the matchup we have here tonight, Washington State hosting Boise State. These two teams played a couple of years ago inside this arena. Boise State coming away with the victory. Washington State going to be looking to improve to 9-2 on the season as they exit non-conference play. If they get the win tonight, that just helps improve your resume come conference time and Selection Sunday. We know how important these games are. This will probably be the toughest opponent that Washington State plays outside of maybe Mississippi State. They played back in November. So we'll have all your action here throughout the evening. Make sure you tune in to Nightside for post-game coverage. But for now, reporting live inside the Spokane Arena, I'm Alex Crescenti for News Now Sports.
Yep, need that W, Alex. Thank you. And be sure to tune in to 4 News Now Nightside, where our sports team will have all the highlights of tonight's game starting at 11 o'clock. Chris?
4 things to know about your weather. A dense fog advisory through tomorrow morning for much of the region. We have rain arriving Friday by late morning, then a rain-snow mix possible late. There's still a slight chance of snow on Christmas Day. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Nissan.
Whether planning your big day or needing a final touch, the Spokane Wedding Expo is for you. Experience firsthand all the aspects of a great wedding. Food, fashion, photography, flowers, and music, all in one place. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
Have you been looking for the perfect pre-owned vehicle and wondered, where have all the used cars gone?
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're looking for a Toyota, Subaru, Ford, or maybe that perfect Honda.
Every pre-owned vehicle is quality inspected and ready for you to take home today.
We work with local lenders to get you the rate you deserve.
Inventory changes daily, so come see us at Coeur d'Alene Honda or visit us on our website at cdahonda.com.
Six is the winner of 23 awards on Broadway and a euphoric celebration. Six the Musical, January 23rd to the 28th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Get tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
You're feeding it.
I will, I promise. Thanks to our Premier Rewards Visa credit card from ICCU, we earned enough cash back to stock up on puppy supplies.
But we don't have a puppy.
They're very convincing children.
This holiday season, even Santa needs to stock up on the freshest ingredients for a magical feast. From green beans, Brussels sprouts, and prime rib to our signature cookies and Cyrus O'Leary apple pies, we've got it all for your holiday gatherings. And just when Santa thought his list was complete,
Santa, don't forget to pick up something special for dinner, dear.
Make your holidays magical with My Fresh Basket, where even Santa shops for the finest ingredients. Happy holidays from My Fresh Basket.
Whether planning your big day or needing a final touch, the Spokane Wedding Expo is for you. Experience firsthand all the aspects of a great wedding. Food, fashion, photography, flowers, and music, all in one place. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
All right, welcome back. Here is a live look of an extremely foggy I-90. This is near the Geiger exit and Spokane Airport. And Chris, it's gotten so bad there's now a dense fog advisory in effect.
Yes, that goes all the way through tomorrow morning for the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area. Here's a look at some more I-90 scenes. This one from I-90 and Argonne Road and I-90 at Harvard Road, where you can see some visibility issues. And as we head up north into Sandpoint, a close look at US 2 and Boyer. They've got some fog there as well. I have several other cameras where it's so foggy it's just white, so I'm not going to show those, but I'm sure you can imagine just looking out the window over much of the region. Clouds and fog tonight, 32 degrees for an overnight low, so there may be some areas of patchy freezing fog. Tomorrow the rain arrives late morning and into the afternoon, 39 degrees for a high. We could see a little bit of rain in the morning, and then the more steady precipitation arrives in the afternoon. Here's our chance of precipitation on Friday, up to 80% at 1 o'clock, and then it starts to taper off a bit. I think that either this might be a little slow or this next computer model might be a little bit fast. Here's a look at the computer model starting off Friday at 6 a.m. Dry conditions, but it wants to bring in an initial band of light rain by Friday at 9. This is a fast-moving system. We'll see the steady rains through noon. And now here's where the speed of this system really matters. If this is the faster solution is correct, we will dry out before our temperatures drop to the point that we would see some snow. Here's 4 o'clock in the afternoon with snow through the central panhandle, but we are dry enough behind the front that we don't see that snow or rain-snow mix in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Just a few convective snow showers over the mountains. If that's a little bit slow, then we'll see, or if this model is a little bit fast and it comes in slower, then we'll see a brief period of some rain-snow mix. Accumulations in terms of valley locations will be very, very light. Maybe 1/10 of an inch in Sandpoint and Winthrop, but nothing accumulating elsewhere around the region until we get into the mountains. Could see some minor accumulations at Lookout Pass with some heavier snow, potentially at Snoqualmie Pass. The passes tomorrow will be rain or a rain-snow mix through the afternoon, but then we'll turn to snow as we get into the late afternoon and evening. So if you do have plans going over the passes, an earlier start would be better. We dry out for Saturday and Christmas Eve Sunday. Christmas Day, still a 20% chance of some very light snow. More wet weather as we get into next week, but with high temperatures close to 40 degrees, it will mainly be rain or a rain-snow mix. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Paprika, garlic, tomato, a feast for the whole family. Introducing the Royal Rosars Rib Roast, exclusively flavored by Spiceology. Now available at your neighborhood Rosars.
Ring in the new year with the Coeur d'Alene Casino's $250,000 New Year's weekend to remember. Win a share of $30,000 in the New Year's weekend kickoff drawings on Friday, December 29th. On New Year's Eve, play for a share of $72,000 in giveaways with $24,000 winners at 4, 7, and 11 p.m. If bingo's your game, join the 55 grand session at 4 p.m. and keep the party going past midnight on New Year's Eve with the $97,000 plus lucky time to remember. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning. You've been hearing about it, and now we've got it at Post Falls Volkswagen, the ID4 electric SUV. This SUV has a space, warranty, technology that buyers want at a price that's competitive. The ID4 was engineered to win the hearts of SUV owners ready to go electric. With a quick charge and an EPA estimated range of 260 miles.
The Volkswagen ID4, now eligible for a $7,500 lease credit.
The ID4 electric SUV, see it at Post Falls Volkswagen.
One of my favorite programs is the People Helping People program.
Any BECU member can nominate a nonprofit that they care about.
We are so appreciative of BECU and their support for our program. One of our parents, who also happens to work here, was able to nominate us. Our service of the community really aligns well with BECU.
Last year, we gave away 3 grants in Spokane. This year, we're slated to give away $525,000.
Thanks to BECU, we are able to meet the needs of more families.
Andes Heating, Cooling, Electrical guarantees to keep your home safe and warm. Your comfort is Andes' priority. Get ready for the cold with a high-efficiency furnace from Carrier and turn to the experts. Andes offers a wide range of top-quality heating systems that are both reliable and environmentally friendly. Andes' team of experts are highly trained and experienced, so you can trust Andes to diagnose and fix any issue efficiently. Andes Heating, Cooling, Electrical, your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
Paprika, garlic, tomato, a feast for the whole family. Introducing the Royal Rosars Rib Roast, exclusively flavored by Spiceology. Now available at your neighborhood Rosars.
4 News Now is brought to you by Northwest Winterfest.
Well, it might be the winter solstice, but as you just saw in Chris's forecast in our last segment, it sure doesn't look or feel like winter. Our First Alert weather team looked as far into the future as they could to find out when we might see this warm winter pattern change. Meteorologist Matt Gray joins us now with the outlook for the rest of the winter season.
All right, thank you, Derek. And compared to a year ago, well, you can see the numbers. They're outstandingly glaring. This winter is off to one sluggish start, and we have had far less snow than on the solstice last year, but that shouldn't necessarily be a surprise. After all, we've been talking about El Nino all year long, and El Nino encourages warmer winter weather in the Pacific Northwest, and that is exactly what we have started to see this month. With 10 days to go, this December is on pace to be the warmest since 1979, 44 years. There's also new forecasts that are coming out for the next 3 months. We're talking about a 55% odds for warmer than normal weather through the months of January, February, and March. And by then, snow season's just about over. Now, despite the climate odds stacked against us, friends, it is still winter. It is still going to get cold. We are still going to get snow, just not as often and likely for not lasting for as long. But that brings us to the next big question. When is the next time it could really feel like winter out there? Well, it doesn't look like that's going to be happening for a while. Starting next week, cooler air is going to set up over the east and Alaska, leaving us stuck in the middle with high pressure and the occasional weak weather system transiting between the two areas. The only thing that might eventually make a difference in this pattern is our old friend, the polar vortex. The spike in temperatures is showing up pretty consistently in model forecasts. And if the polar vortex does get displaced, cold air is going to have a lot easier time spilling out of the Arctic. Weather patterns across the northern hemisphere will get a lot more interesting if that does indeed take place. Now, when we see this kind of disruption, it usually takes a week or two to see changes down here at the ground. And that would put us all the way into the middle of January at the earliest for even a chance at some long-term actual cold, actual significant snow. So this is, Derek, going to be a much different winter season.
Wow. All right, Matt, thank you so much. Well, we have more coming up tonight at 6:30, including why you should inspect your gift cards before heading to the checkout counter, and see how one family ensures no child is left behind while they're staying at the hospital over the holidays. That story after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Everybody and every girl, sing joy, joy, joy to the world, and the wonders of His love will fill your heart. When you sing joy, joy, joy to the world, joy, 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 joy to the world.
This may look like a holiday shopping showdown, but it's a Nissan sales event ad. Good thing my Rogue has intelligent all-wheel drive.
So does my Altima.
Now get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months or save up to $2,500 on Rogue. Better hurry. These offers won't be back in stock.
Ring in the new year with the Coeur d'Alene Casino's $250,000 New Year's weekend to remember. Win a share of $30,000 in the New Year's weekend kickoff drawings on Friday, December 29th. On New Year's Eve, play for a share of $72,000 in giveaways with $24,000 winners at 4, 7, and 11 p.m. If bingo's your game, join the 55 grand session at 4 p.m. and keep the party going past midnight on New Year's Eve with the $97,000 plus lucky time to remember. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning.
E.T.
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 E.T. Hi, E.T.
Wow.
Only on E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
GMA 7A on the Friday before Christmas. Things are getting really ugly in the best way because here come our ugly sweaters. And we've got a live holiday performance from Brandy tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
All right, welcome back. Christmas is just around the corner, and Chris, some of us are really hoping for a little bit of that snow, but the odds of that happening still Not very good, are they?
Well, you know, sometimes when the fog gets really dense, like little snow flurries will condense out of the fog. Would that count?
We'll take anything we can
Or maybe
get.
some freezing fog, you know, that would look nice too. Well, let's take a look at the scene across the street. People are starting to show up for the basketball game tonight at the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena, and hopefully they can find their way because it is dense fog. We have a dense fog advisory. It was just issued at the top of the hour for the area that's elevated in gray here. It includes the northern panhandle, Bonner, Kootenai, part of Kootenai County, just the western half of Kootenai County, all of Spokane County up through the Northeast Mountains and parts of the Columbia Basin. Stop short of Moses Lake, but we've got Ritzville and Grand Coulee in that area, and we are seeing that dense fog. You can see why Moses Lake is not included. 10-mile visibility as we head out into the basin, but we are down to less than a quarter mile over a good portion of the Spokane Coeur d'Alene area and up towards Sandpoint. As we zoom in around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, things have really gone downhill in Spokane Valley. And in your Friday planner, we'll start the day off with fog, and then the rain arrives as we get into the mid-morning. I'll be back to tell you more about that in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, a busy morning for staff at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. Hundreds of gifts were delivered by officers from the Coeur d'Alene Police Department from their children's toy drive. And the little boy who inspired this drive 9 years ago got to be there today. Bronte Sorotsky joins us in studio with why this year's drive was so special.
Well, it was a magical morning as officers with the Coeur d'Alene Police Department hand-delivered hundreds of toys for kids staying at Sacred Heart over Christmas. And this year was extra special. The officer's child that started this tradition turned 9 today.
How many toys do you think were delivered today? There was a lot of them.
99.
That's a close guess, but hundreds of toys were delivered to Sacred Heart. The toy drive is inspired by this little guy.
Caden was born with congenital diaphragmatic hernia and spent 6.5 months here at Sacred Heart.
He and his family spent that Christmas in the hospital, and what should have been a joyful time was terrifying.
He wasn't doing well on Christmas Eve, so it was hard to focus.
The staff at Sacred Heart told Caden's parents to get some rest at home, and when they came back to the hospital a bit later, they were greeted with Christmas gifts.
When we walked in Christmas morning, there was presents at his bedside, and we thought how amazing that somebody would think ahead to do that for families that are in the hospitals.
Feeling so touched by this gesture, Caden's family decided to start a toy drive for families staying at Sacred Heart and Kootenai Health during the holidays. Caden's dad is a Coeur d'Alene police officer and started the drive with the department. Now 9 years later, the drive has grown from 4 police cars full of presents to full truckloads of gifts. And staff that helped save Caden's life were able to see him healthy, happy, and another year older.
It's just great to see him, thriving and, getting to enjoy life and be a third grader.
I asked Caden how he felt to see all these kids in the hospital have a Merry Christmas just like he did.
It's kind of a bit good.
Now, these donations would not have been possible without the community's help and support. Now, every child staying at Sacred Heart in Kootenai Health will get a Merry Christmas. In studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
I'd say it's more than a bit good, Bronte. Thank you. Well, the Spokane Regional Health District has confirmed the first 2 flu deaths of the season. Health officials say both of them were in their 60s and had underlying health conditions. This comes as respiratory illness cases are rising across the U.S., according to the CDC.
Right now, what we're seeing in our community is an uptick in the influenza, and that started more so in the last week, just in time for the holidays. We're also seeing some RSV, we're seeing a bump up in COVID as well.
Experts say cold and flu season starts around Christmas time when families are spending more time together indoors, which causes germs to spread quicker. In order to protect yourself and your family, make sure to frequently wash your hands and use hand sanitizer. Doctors also say if you're feeling sick at any point during your holiday activities, just stay home and make sure you are up to date on all of your vaccines. The CDC is also keeping an eye on a new variant of COVID-19 that accounts for 20% of new cases across the U.S. The CDC estimates COVID-19 cases more than doubled in the U.S. between late November and mid-December. The new JN1 variant has only one change to its spike protein compared to the variant that it descended from. But that change seems to be enough to allow it to spread more easily. Around the Northwest now, 3 Tacoma police officers have been found not guilty of murdering Manuel Ellis. The charges stem from a 2020 incident where officers detained Ellis for allegedly trying to open the doors of occupied vehicles. Multiple cameras recorded the arrest, and he could be heard saying, "I can't breathe," on police dispatch audio. The case drew comparisons to the death of another black man in police custody, George Floyd, in Minneapolis that same year. All of the officers could have faced up to life in prison if convicted. An attorney for Ellis's family expressing disappointment in the verdict, pointing out Ellis was unarmed at the time of the incident. WSU basketball getting ready to take on Boise State at the Spokane Arena. We have a live interview with Cougars head coach Kyle Smith coming up in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
Sign up for the 4 News Now playbook at KXLY.com.
Paprika, garlic, tomato, a feast for the whole family. Introducing the Royal Rosars Rib Roast, exclusively flavored by Spiceology. Now available at your neighborhood Rosars.
Our motto here at Holiday Heating is fixed right or it's free. That means that we'll get the job done right the first time, and if we don't,
we will own up to that and we will take care of it for you for free.
Fixed right or it's free means that we are accountable for the 100% satisfaction of our customers.
We'll come back and get the job done, and with no additional charge to the customer.
We are humans and we do make mistakes, but we are here to make it right and make sure our customers know that.
Time of year the reindeer fly. You can't see them on their sleigh ride across the sky. Gather all your friends around or go out and paint the town. It's the only time of year the whole wide world turns upside down.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
My darling granddaughter, this camera was given to me when I was your age. May it capture your big, beautiful life the way it did mine.
It's so surprising what the little things can do. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody...
Oh, Merry Christmas, Grandma.
Paprika, garlic, tomato, a feast for the whole family. Introducing the Royal Rosars Rib Roast, exclusively flavored by Spiceology. Now available at your neighborhood Rosars.
All right, welcome back. Today is December 21st. That means it's the winter solstice. I like this day because it means that every day henceforth gets a little bit longer, right?
Yes, and at this latitude, that is key. It's about 45 minutes and 5 seconds away.
Oh, okay.
It's the precise time of the winter solstice. Subject of tonight's forecast focus all has to do with the fact that our Earth is tilted on its axis, 23.5 degrees, and on the winter solstice, here we are, December, it can happen on the 22nd, but oftentimes in this time zone, it is on the 21st. And on this day, we find that the Earth's axis is tilted away from the sun, and it happens at precisely this moment, 7:27 p.m. in this time zone. And we do have our shortest day and longest night in this hemisphere. It's the depths of summer in the southern hemisphere. And our sunset has actually already been getting later. This number was at its earliest at 3:58 earlier in December. Now our sunset as of today is a minute after 4. It's just nice to be in the 4 o'clock hour, really. But our sunset will continue to get a little bit later until about a week after the winter solstice. Has to do with the fact that the Earth is spinning on an ellipses, or on its axis, but rotating in an ellipses. It's not quite perfect. Our clocks are perfect. The Earth is not. I would say it's vice versa. Our clocks and the Earth's rotation don't quite line up. 39 was our high today. 33 is our average high, and that's where we started the day. We'll be right about that again tomorrow with areas of freezing fog. These cameras, traffic cameras, look bleak. This one happens to be Meade up around Farwell, where the visibility is terrible. Our dense fog advisory goes through 10 a.m. That's about the time that our next system will be arriving, bringing mostly rain to the region. If it slows down, we'll start to see a rain-snow mix as our temperature drops tomorrow evening. Right now, it's looking more likely that we will be dry by the time our temperature would be cool enough to see that snow. Precipitation ramps up in the afternoon and begins to taper off. Still a chance of some precipitation around 7, and that's about the time we would see that rain-snow mix developing. I did want to go back to that last graphic just to give you an idea of what kind of precipitation totals that we will be looking at. It'll start developing right around 10 or 11. By this time tomorrow, we'll be just about wrapped up with less than 1/10 of an inch of rain in Spokane, a little more in Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint being one of the spots where we see the heaviest precipitation. And you could see minor accumulations of snow on the grassy surfaces around Sandpoint. Rain tomorrow, then we're dry Saturday and Sunday, but also cooler behind that front coming through. 20% chance of snow on Christmas, and then some wet weather next week, but not very winter-like, solstice or not. It is going to be a rain-snow mix with highs around 40, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Well, the last thing most of us think about during the holidays is our taxes and what we could do before the end of the year to maximize our 2024 refund. ABC's Morgan Norwood has what you need to know.
Though the tax deadline isn't until April of 2024, it's never too early to get a head start.
It's a really great time to start thinking about your taxes.
Lisa Green-Lewis from TurboTax says there are a few tax-related tasks that can help you maximize your refund or minimize the taxes you owe. Take retirement contributions, for example.
By contributing to your 401k, you're actually lowering your taxable income. And then, if your employers match, that's a win altogether because you're building your nest egg and then you're also increasing your retirement and lowering your taxable income.
Then there's deferring income.
If you're expecting a bonus from your employer, maybe you can ask them to hold off until the first week of January. That's pretty close. So you're still receiving it, but you won't be taxed on it for this tax year.
And when it comes to tax deductions,
charitable contributions is a good one. If you can itemize your deductions, you could do that by December 31st and donate, and you could get a deduction on your taxes.
Experts say it's also a great time to review your investments, especially if you took any losses.
You want to look at your investments and see if there's any ones that are losing. And if you decide to sell those, you would just sell them by the end of the year. And if you had any gains, you would be able to offset those.
Lastly, prepare your paperwork. Get organized. That way your documents are ready when you file. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
All right, some good stuff there. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I've always been drawn to artists like this. Yeah, me too. This used to be one of my favorites when I was younger. You're me. Yeah, after you quit the firm and follow your passion.
Face your future with Whitworth University.
Whatever the holidays mean to you, get the most out of them in a new Honda. Whether it's taking in the lights with all your friends in a spacious Accord, or taking in a snow day in a rugged CR-V. Your holiday adventure awaits with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need.
I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with, and not worth it.
You deserve something better and better. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality health insurance.
We have plans with as low as $0 out-of-pocket premiums, a network of local doctors, and a rewards program for making healthy choices.
Nice.
That's why we're America's #1 marketplace health insurance. So call us or go online now. And Better Health. On a mission for better.
Whatever your plans are this season, do more in a new Chevy. Or qualified lessees can get this Equinox for around $239 a month. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Spokane Exercise Equipment is the Inland Northwest premier provider of top-of-the-line exercise and rehabilitation equipment. Once the Spokane Exercise Equipment technicians have finished setting up your new home gym, that's when the workout competition begins. Spokane Exercise Equipment has all you need to achieve your fitness goals. They offer delivery, installation, service, and maintenance for all residential and commercial customers. Visit them in downtown Spokane or go online to see their full line of products.
Emma? My name's Emma, too. Are you?
Yeah, you. In a few years.
How?
You went back to school. Finished your degree.
Face your future with Whitworth University.
4 News Now is brought to you by Skelton's Carpet One, Lewiston.
Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into sports. I'm Julian Minenson. Washington State basketball is getting ready for its final non-conference game of the season, and it's a big one. The Cougars are hosting Boise State at Spokane Arena tonight, and that's where we find Alex Crescenti, who is live with Washington State head coach Kyle Smith.
Yeah, that's right, Julian. I'm joined by Washington State head coach Kyle Smith. And, Coach, pretty familiar with the Spokane Arena at this point. You played here for the last couple of seasons. And you're also familiar with your opponent tonight, the Boise State Broncos. They've got you the last couple of times. What do you look as the keys to the game tonight in order to come away with a win?
No, we're going to have to play really well. They're really kind of a veteran club. They're strong. They're not going to beat themselves, so we're going to have to play well. You're not going to be able to, we're still a little green as far as what our experience is, but we have similarities between the two teams, both big and long. And it's going to be there'll be a dogfight. You're going to have to make big plays down the stretch.
So you almost came back against the Santa Clara Broncos this past weekend down in Phoenix, but maybe the Achilles heel that sort of did you in was that 10-minute field goal drought. Yeah. What do you look at as the keys to making sure that doesn't happen again and you are able to score consistently?
Do a better job coaching. I told our team, I said I should have probably burned every time out in the first half. They went on a slow run. We couldn't score. We were struggling, and we got to do better. And I'll take that little segment out of the game. We played pretty well, but hopefully there's an opportunity for us to grow and get better. And Boise's similar to Santa Clara, but I think a little better. So it'll be tough.
And also, got to talk about your freshman here, Miles Rice, and what a surprise. I don't know, it's not a surprise to you at this point, but, what has he done for your program at this point?
Man, we knew he's very, very charismatic personality, a light bulb, and what he went through last year, and we were just praying for his good health and hopefully return to the court. And I told people, I said, hey, we were missing a pretty good player last year that would have made a difference. And the way he's, after not playing for 2 years, the way he's started off this season has been amazing. And I could see that, but not expect that. Is that the way I say it? You could see what he could be, and he's doing it pretty early in his career.
All right, well, thank you so much for the time, Coach. And Broncos and the Cougs will be tipping off in about 90 minutes' time, and we'll have the post-game coverage coming up on Nightside. Julian, sit back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Alex. Now, Idaho's starting quarterback has found a new home for next season. Giovanni McCoy is transferring to Oregon State. McCoy passed for nearly 3,000 yards and 15 touchdowns, leading the Vandals to the FCS quarterfinals this season. He was also named first-team All-Big Sky. Now, McCoy earned the Jerry Rice Freshman of the Year award in 2022, becoming the first Idaho player to win the honor. And Eastern Washington women's hoops takes down Presbyterian College in Las Vegas earlier today, 92-51. That game across the street is going to be pretty good. Washington State, they're in the top 50 in the net rankings. Boise State, perennially a tournament team, so it'll be a huge win on the tournament resume for WSU if they want to be off the bubble later down the line.
And I know some members of that Degenhart family, they will be loud and en masse in the crowd there tonight as well. All right, Julian, thank you so much. Well, gift cards are a perfect last-minute holiday gift, but before you check out, you'll want to make sure no one has tampered with it. According to the FBI, scammers will shoplift the cards from stores, register the security code, put a bonus security sticker over the real one, then replace it on the store shelves. That's when unsuspecting customers fill these compromised cards with money that is sometimes instantly stolen.
So we're seeing this scam across the United States. It's really picked up in the last few weeks, and we see generally a rise in scams of this type around the holidays.
Now, to prevent falling victim, the FBI says look to see if the packaging seems tampered with or if there's a sticker over the scratch-off sticker. They say buy gift cards that are kept behind the counter and save the receipts. All right, 4 News Now. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Cash in this holiday season at Spokane Tribe Casino in the Winter Wonderland Cash Drawings. Win your share of more than $57,000 in cash every Saturday in December, only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Okay, guys, have a great day. Don't forget you have soccer after school. Bye, Mom.
See our huge selection of Highlanders built for everyday drivers at Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Spokane's hottest music.
Break me so done with you, girl. Poppin', man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
An average person will spend about 1/3 of their life at work. So instead of just finding a job, find a career you love. That's what we do. Lewis Clark State College's School of Career and Technical Education can help you reach your full potential in a career you're passionate about. Whether you're building websites in our web design program or rebuilding cars in collision repair, your career is waiting at LC State. Scholarships are available. Apply now.
This may look like a holiday shopping showdown, but it's a Nissan sales event ad. Good thing my Rogue has intelligent all-wheel drive.
So does my Altima.
Now get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months or save up to $2,500 on Rogue. Better hurry. These offers won't be back in stock.
Cash in this holiday season at Spokane Tribe Casino in the Winter Wonderland Cash Drawings. Win your share of more than $57,000 in cash every Saturday in December, only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
Amusement Ride Horror. Next Inside Edition, the mom and daughter who say the safety latch failed, how their close call left them traumatized.
Oh my God, it came out!
Then, all I want for Christmas is skincare? The pricey face products all the rage for kids, but is it worth it?
Oh my gosh, it's so refreshing.
Watch the next Inside Edition. Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Well, coming up tonight on Nightside, new details on when the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students will stand trial, while the state wants it to happen this summer. And following the deaths of 2 women in Spokane, a domestic violence survivor is urging women like her to find help.
It is a dense fog advisory through tomorrow morning. About the time that comes to an end, the rain gets started. Might see a little bit of snow mixing in Friday evening, but more likely will be drying out for the weekend.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. And yeah, the white Christmas thing, small chance, just not much of a chance.
No, not much of a chance.
All right, don't forget to join us back for Nightside. Julian will have all the highlights from the Cougs and Broncos across the street at the Spokane Arena.